I still don't know, and I've stood up now. I still don't know what I'm going to talk about. Now, it's not. Thank you. It's not quite as bad as that. Now, I guess I'm going to try and pick up and pull a few things together. In so much as what Christian was saying was he wanted to do a recap of the year and really cover some of the things that well, many of you have gone through and thought, well, I really want to invest in X or Y or Z. So I'm going to kind of pick up the why people fail to create wealth. I guess I better give you a little bit of background, just a tiny bit, to say who's this Kettley bloke. Well, I was, and you don't sigh too badly, I was one of those kids that just had to do everything and anything for a minute. I'd done the Cubs for a week, I'd done the Scouts for another week, and that's just how it went. So today they call it ADD, they give them a little badge, yeah? And I had another one as well called Big Mad Dyslexia. So school really wasn't occurring to me, but very fortunately I had great parents and they brought me a motorcycle, poor buggers, at the age of 10, because that was it. I actually latched onto that one and we went racing, and I literally went from being all over the place to I was concentrated on one thing, Sundays. That's all that existed. Nothing existed except Sundays from the age of 10. I can't remember having a friend at school. That sounds a bit funky, doesn't it? I never had one, because lunchtime, on a push bike, straight home, pull my motorcycle down, build it back up, and we go racing on a Sunday. So, of course, I left school when I was nearly 15, because I just couldn't do the school thing. It just wasn't my deal at all. But I was pretty reasonable on a motorcycle, and yours truly was going to be the first British world champion for years. That was until about 21. I just got signed for Yamaha, and I put the footrest through that knee, done this rack of ribs for the second time. I'm an inch shorter on this shoulder, and that was the end of that career. What the hell am I going to do now? Any of you been in similar situations where you're thinking, I'm shot, I don't know what I'm going to do? Yeah? Right. This happens all the way through your career. So I'm 21. Okay, I'm pretty good with that, but I'm not good with any of the other bits and pieces. Now, bizarrely, last year, the dyslexic ADD wrote a book. How long do you think it took me to write it? 3 weeks. 3 weeks, start to finish, done, finished. I've got 2 other books coming down the road, and it's the ADD thing. It's funny, not a lot of people know this, but I got into DJing, and DJing at the time really taught me something, because I could put subjects onto 3 tables. You've seen a DJ table, haven't you? Well, my brain always has, even though I'm 50-something odd years old today, and I've got 3 things going on in my head at any one time, and that's the only way I can keep order. You think you got problems. Anyway, long story short, I was pretty good at ducking and diving, and I started buying and selling cars from the auctions at 15. Got my licence when I was about 2 weeks after my 17th birthday, so I used to drive all around the place. So I was a trader, and I then was really fortunate. I had from an Irish family, my mum had 7 brothers and 2 sisters, and they all were builders and this and that and the other. So I was very fortunate. I had 7 mentors, because we were quite a tight family. And being into bikes and one thing and another, about the late 70s, mountain bikes came out. Wow. And the cycle shops all thought, it's a fad. So I opened up a mountain bike shop. I was only just turned 17. And of course we were doing a bomb. And I sold that first business 18 months later to FL Moores, who had 5 bicycle shops, because they wanted to take me out of the market. I thought, that weren't bad. I'd started, built and sold in 18 months, and I came out with 20 grand, and I'm 19 years of age. There's an idea for you. Find a hole, plug it, build it and sell it. My ADD doesn't allow me to run anything for too long. And I'm a bit of a creative, so I love to watch a hole, think, no one's doing anything over there. Why aren't they doing anything? Who's around that hole? Let's plug it. And then once I've built it up, that's the exciting bit, isn't it, building a business? And then when it's up and running, it's kind of boring then, it's just working, isn't it? So sell that, give that to someone else. Right, off that goes. So anyway, over the last 30 years, I've started, built and sold a number of companies. We've done all right. I've been to the door of bankruptcy. I've been awake all night wondering how the hell am I going to pay engineers all across Europe, wondering how the VAT man's going to get on, because you don't always keep it completely straight, do you? Right? Because you have to blur the edges, and I think that's the thing in business. You must blur the edges. You cannot conform. You can't make any money if you conform. So you cannot be a conformist. Does that sit with you? Yeah. Good. Because we're the funky people, the people that are the entrepreneurs. We do things that all of the PAYE guys think, oh, I wouldn't do that, that's risky. That's the English thing, isn't it? Do you know? It just is. So, cut a long story short, I went out to Germany and bizarrely was selling Jeeps and Harleys to the US military on the bases, and ran into an amazing guy, Tom Kavanagh, who introduced me to psychology, and that's when I found out I wasn't completely weird as far as the rest of the world was concerned. Because you always think you're a bit funky, don't you, and a bit strange. You're not. Everyone's just wired up differently. And I think if you can accept that you're just wired up a little bit differently to everyone else, and that's a good thing, then that's the start of you actually starting to achieve. Now, do you know the question? In fact, I better roll on a little bit further. I sold my CCTV company back in fact, let me tell you the story to that. Guy came to me at a barbecue and said, there's a fabulous invention, there's a DVR. It gets rid of a 24-hour time-lapse video recorder and a multiplexer. So what? Yeah? Well, he said, it does, means you can do things. All right, what's that then? Well, you can dial in and look at a camera from far, far away. This is 1999. And we can turn switches on and off. Really? Okay. So I click, click, click. Actually, I got it. We were the very first company in the UK to stream 25 frames onto a website. No one had done it before. We were the very first company to take CCTV access control and not call it security, but we call it remote management. So we're the guys that put all the CCTV into Dublin Airport for Porrick Cafferty, who runs it from opposite Trinity College in Dublin. We put camera systems in from Bogano, Milan to Norway to Ireland and back. That was the 30 engineers bit. Do you remember that bit earlier? Yeah. Good. Right, so the thing was, we'd spotted a hole. And I think if you can look for holes, you won't be far off to do the things that other people won't do. But it starts with you. What is winning to you? You must know this. And it's the big question that I ask people all the time, and most people don't know. I mean, if I ask you, what's winning to you? How will you know you've won?
When I have freedom.
Freedom. Okay, specifically.
Freedom to do actually what I want to do, as opposed to getting up every day.
Okay, and what does that look like? What, on a day-to-day basis?
My freedom.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah? And have you got a business?
I've got a franchise and I'm doing Amazon.
Oh, okay. And so your Amazon business is firing on all cylinders and it's creating money, yeah?
We're getting there.
Yeah, good, good, good. Do you know, the funny thing is, I've asked this question of pretty much most people that ever come onto the courses and trainings that we do. What is winning to you? You'll be amazed at the average answer. 2 grand. It's not 1 million, it's 2 grand. Does that surprise you? I better explain. If you think about it, if you take every single X that you have, yeah? So that's your mortgage, your rates, your this, your that, your other, and so on and so on. And if at the end of that, you had about £2,000 over and above that at the end of every month, you could set fire to it. You could go on holiday. You could go for something to eat. For most people, they've won. Would you go with that? Yeah? If you had 2 grand at the end of every single month, over and above all of your X's, you've won. It's not a lot of money, is it? So now when you look at it that way, is it that big a risk to go out and build a business that just makes 2 grand over and above what your nickel is? Because for most people, their overhead is anywhere between 2 and 5 grand a month, which means between kind of 3 and 7 grand, most people have won. And all you have to do is produce a passive income that does that. I mean, that slide you had earlier of the 6 points is absolutely bang on. It's absolutely bang on. And all you've got to do is just find a hole. Find something, though, that you have a passion for. And who was saying earlier that it was about direction? They weren't quite sure about direction. You're not alone. I would say 80% of the people that I coach and mentor are in the same place. Do you know what? I'm just not quite sure where I want to go. Stop. Stop and look in the mirror. Find out how you work. We were talking a bit earlier on about our shared ADD and the way that our minds flick and all the rest of it. Well, for people like us, we have to do things that are creative. And when you're doing things that are creative, they have a life. So you go from point A to point B and then on you go. So network marketing actually is probably perfect for you and I. It absolutely is. Because it's funny, it's only, do you know what, as I was sitting down there listening to Chris, I've actually got an idea for us to do in 2016. And it's one I've been kicking around in my head for a little while. Shall I share it? Do you fancy it? Yeah. Okay. This is an entrepreneur just thinking about a hole. When Chris said to me about having escaped the rat race, I thought to myself, do you know what, I think he's really got something there. The amount of people that are on the treadmill and just want to get off, they're just hating what they're doing, waking up in the morning not wanting to do that anymore and not quite sure how the hell do we get out of this. Anyone ever feel that? Yeah? It's a horrible feeling. So you must work out what winning is to you first. That's just mandatory. You must do that first because you need a point A and a point B. Otherwise, how the hell do you know where you're traversing to? You don't know. You must know what that is. It must be vivid. You see it, feel it, touch it, live it. Wake up in the morning knowing that is what I'm doing. Do you know why people don't create wealth? Because they don't know what winning is to them. You must know this. I can't emphasise this enough. I'm pushing it, aren't I? But it's because I'm passionate about this. All of the people that I've ever met that are truly, truly wealthy are happy in their own skin. That's where you start. You must be comfortable in your own skin and you must know where B is. Go.
Is this something you've learned from NLP or is it something you've just picked up?
Do you know, I have to say to you, I was probably well into my 40s before I got completely comfortable in my skin. And bizarrely, it was through, I do some funky stuff. I do some PTSD work where I help people get over stuff, bad stuff. And it was only then I thought, do you know what? In fact, you were talking about books earlier. There are 5 mandatory books. If you want to succeed, read these books. The first one is 1927, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. It's a mindset thing. You are who you associate with. And it's just getting that mindset. The second one is 1956, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Just tells you how to communicate with other human beings and the fact that it's not all about you, it's all about them. And when you're in business, it is nothing to do with you. It's all about them. It's all about them. Because if you can give enough people what they want, you will never be poor. Period. That's it. That's the secret of business. It's no secret. Give people what they want, they'll give you money. Everyone's a winner, aren't they? Next book is 1987, Michael Gerber, The E-Myth. Now, who here has read The E-Myth? Okay, the rest of you, read The E-Myth. You must, okay, because he talks about the 3 heads or the 3 caps, you see. And sorry, can I just get a show of hands? Who here is PAYE? Yeah? Okay. Well done, because it's a quantum shift in mindset between going from PAYE to self-employed. It's a different thing. I've never had a salary. I've never known what I'm going to earn this month. Comparatively speaking, I've got all my passive incomes that come in, but I don't know what that is. Now, what Gerber talks about is that in every business, if you think about your company that you work for, you've got the technician. That's the character that does all the work, isn't it? Then you've got the manager, and then you've got the entrepreneur. And the problem is that most people that leap out of PAYE are these guys. They're the technicians. and the technicians, I promise you, you're never going to make any money. As you traverse and you build your business, you want to have technicians work with you. You outsource to those guys. The managing bit means where you can manage people, where you can inspire network marketers, where you can inspire other people to achieve their true potential. And that's why most network marketers don't achieve their true potential, because they're very poor at inspiring others to achieve their potential. Because again, in network marketing, it's always about them. And if you can inspire other people, again, you'll never be poor. It's about inspiring others. And then there's the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur is the character that gets the money. That's the character that sees the holes. And that's the one that's in peripheral view all the time, looking and seeing what's going out there. I was speaking to a couple of guys and straight away it's like, yeah, I know where the money is, I know where the money is, I know where the money is. Because I'm this guy, I'm absolutely crap at that. I'm just brutally bad. Managing people, I'm half reasonable. I've had to get good at that because I'm the sort of character I always want to do things for other people, so I'm not very good at telling them what to do. So I've had to get good at that. But the thing is, if you read Gerber's book, it's wonderfully written. He'll take you through that process. Now, what tends to happen with self-employed people, just to give you another look, is that they're doing stuff. Every day is filled with stuff. You know stuff? Yeah, just stuff. It's horrible, isn't it? Stuff. Well, stuff goes on from the 1st of the month pretty much to about the 25th of the month. Yeah? And then about the 25th of the month, it's like, oh shit, I've got the bills coming up. I've got the mortgage, I've got the this, I've got the that. And if you're self-employed, you really are thinking, oh shit, at the 25th. And that's just about the time that you start to get entrepreneurial. Funny that, isn't it? All right? And you think, who can I sell something to? All right? And that's when you go into overdrive. But the thing is, it only ever lasts about 4 to 5 days. And for most people, they never quite make enough money. And then, do you know what? I've got another month. I'll go back to stuff. Stuff. Yeah? And that's why people don't do anything. In fact, I'll tell you what, if the self-employed people will tell you here, the best way to start your day and not do anything is to open up your email. That's the best way to really make a balls of any day. It really is. Because you open up that big old box of distraction and you're looking at other people's wish lists. Yeah? Can you do this? Can you do that? Well, of course, you've got 150 emails. You've got to get rid of all the Viagra and, and all the other bits and pieces, haven't you, to get to the 4. And God forbid you go on holiday and come back to 2,000 of the bloody things. And then, oh my God, that takes you a day to go through that to find the 5 that are even worth looking at. And you've done a whole day, haven't you? So you cannot be opening up that box of distraction. When you start every day, you start on you. Who's the most important person in your life? You. Yeah? Now, some people say, oh, well, it's my wife or my husband or my family. Forget that. Forget that, seriously. It's you. Because if you can earn the monies, you can look after them. Becoming a true success, getting the income gives you choice. The choice to do whatever you want to do. Now, my mission was to get enough money to make sure that my mum never wants for anything, ever. And my brother and so on and so on. I'm actually not materialistic at all, but I want to give them, because I'm quite a family-orientated sort of character. I was never old enough to have kids, so I'm not family that way. You didn't catch that, did you? Right? Because I'm the kid in my house. But going back to why do people fail, is they allow distractions in their lives. And they get distracted with doing stuff for other people. And that's why I'm really putting a bit of pressure on dear Christian at the moment, because I'm saying, no, listen, are you earning any money? Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? Because if we can get over this 2K mark, and I mean month in, month out, month in, month out, bang, 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 choice. Do what you want to do. Now, I'm just going to share a couple of little things with you. I know we're a bit tight on time, but I'm going to share with you time management. Because time management is misunderstood by virtually everyone. okay? And this is just Kettley's version of time management. I do this, right? So here we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll run out of Saturdays and Sundays, okay? Now, you've got AM. Can you see this? Yeah? You have to go past my scroll, I'm afraid. Okay? Now, the bottom line is, let's go into a little bit of neuro-linguistic programming. I'm a morning person. This morning, I woke up at 3:15. I normally wake up at 4, half 4, and that's it, I'm up. And this is going 100 miles an hour, bang, 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 bang. Because I'm a morning person. By the time I get to 4 o'clock, this has left the building. Nada. Nothing's happening. My wife, bless her, doesn't do mornings. If I talk to her, she wants to stab me. It's no good, all right? She kicks in about 11, 12 o'clock, and then she's a freight train till about 10 at night, 11 at night. In fact, I'm at my mental best somewhere between sort of 6 and 9 in the morning. That's when I'm firing every cylinder. My wife's is kind of 8 to 9 o'clock. She will start talking and asking, John, what do you think? It's like, no, past the watershed. Know yourself, as an Essex girl once said. Yeah, you must know yourself. So, I know I'm good on AMs. You know where you're good, don't you? You know that you're an AM person or a PM person. So this is where you're going to work at your best. So for me, just going between my wife and I never do any meetings before 11 o'clock, ever. I also don't do Mondays. I don't do Fridays. Saturday mornings for hangovers. Everyone knows that, right? And Wednesday is what I call crap day. Yeah? Because you've got to organise yourself, all right? Now, why crap day? Well, you know all those things you don't want to do? Yeah? That's Wednesday. So, you start Wednesday, obviously I'm self-employed, so you start Wednesday with the thing that I hate doing the most, right? Because I've got a nice little pile on a desk and it's like, Wednesday.
How do you actually start that though? Because I can give a million reasons why I shouldn't be starting that.
Ah,
I should.
right. Well, I do a deal with myself. I always have little deals with myself for stuff. Do you not do deals with yourself? If I do this, then I'll get that. Yeah, you do deals, okay? Because you know you the best, right? So I always start with the bit that I hate the most, and then number 2, and then so my day gets better and better and better. And then on a Wednesday afternoon, I'll go out on my bike. Yeah, that's my dirt bike out in the fields. So yeah, you're quite right. I do 2.5 days. But you remember I said to you about winning? That's winning to me. It took me a long time to get there, but I knew what it was. So you must know what it is for you. So I only work with people I like, because why would you want to work with people you don't like? It's just too short, isn't it? Yeah? So, can you see my time management? I work towards that, but it works for me. Now, the reason that I have crap day is because Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, I am negative free. Because all that goes on to Wednesday, yeah? So you'll have your day of the week. So this is where the time management comes in. Now, if I do meetings again, they're later in the afternoon, but by 4 o'clock, I know I'm not doing anything. My wife, on the other hand, she doesn't do mornings. So she kicks in on PM, stroke early evenings. Again, you know you. So don't fight yourself in terms of the amount of people say, oh no, I've got to get this work done, I've got to get it done. You're just not being effective. I can do more in 2 hours before 8 o'clock, before the phone goes and anything else goes, that if I tried to do that in the day, it would take me all day to do 1.5 hours work. You know exactly what I'm saying, don't you? So organise your life to suit you. Be the most effective when you're going to be effective. Don't allow other people's distractions to stop you from achieving your true potential. Read, and without a shadow of a doubt, get a mentor. It's mandatory. I've had mentors for 30 years. Well, a bit longer than that if you count my uncles. Now, I'll share something else with you. 2 of my mentors are not paid and 1 is paid. 1 is my wife's best friend. She's a prolific businesswoman in Ireland, and funny enough, Wednesday afternoon-ish, I'm playing around here a bit, but on a Wednesday afternoon I have a Skype with Caroline, and for 3 weeks in a row it'll be, really Caroline, what are you thinking? Right? Now she knows I'm only doing that for her highest outcome, for her positive outcome, and then it'll be 2 weeks where she's saying, now Johnny, really, have you rubbed one brain cell off the other to get that result, have you? You know, oh yeah, okay, she's right. But it's because that's what they're doing, is they're keeping you on the path, because it is impossible. I'll defy anybody to say that you can go straight from A to B. It goes like that. Yeah? You'll have days, you'll have weeks where it's just not coming together. Do you know what? Don't duff yourself up. Just say, do you know what? I'm on a biorhythmical low day, and that's okay, because there's tomorrow. Now, there's a couple of little techniques that you can pick up, and I'm a huge plagiarist. I've read vast amounts, and then I discovered Audible, which is why I recorded an Audible as well, because you can just listen to stuff on the go, and I'm constantly picking things up. Christian told me about EQ Fire, is it?
Oh, EO5.
EO5?
Scott told me about that, so...
Yeah, you know, what goes round comes round, doesn't it? And I think if you just share the wealth of knowledge, something will come back to you. But going back to, I'm just losing, is that worth saying? Yeah, no, it is. The trickiest thing in business is often your partner, because your partner will inevitably think a different way to you, as mine is. How on earth I'm still married 20 years later is amazing, because I'm AM, she's PM. She's big picture, I'm detail. What do I mean? I'll tell you. I get in from work or whatever, and I'll say to her, oh, how was your day? Yeah, all right, and she walks off. Okay. 10 minutes later, she'll come back, how was your day? Yeah, not bad. I started off with a bite, she's walked off. Too much detail. Not interested. You see these people at work and in business? This is where the NLP bit comes in, because not everybody thinks the way you do. So my wife, if I have to sort of think, well, does she want enough detail? There's always a bit of a game there, so I just give her bite-sized bits of information now, and then she'll come back and tell me if she wants more information. Do you know that kind of a way? So the detail people actually struggle more than the big picture people, because they can't spot that the big picture people are lost interest. Yeah? So all of these little factors go into place. Is this helpful at all? Yeah? Okay. Was I going to tell you about the business idea? Yeah? I was? Okay. Well, let's do that. All right. No, it just came to me. I thought, do you know what? What we'll do, we'll start a network marketing, and I'll do this in 2 minutes flat, he says. We'll have a go. Right? Tell you what, we've got the fountain of all knowledge. I've been collecting so much Go Get a Life over the years, you have no idea. And in terms of the body of information, I mean, where focus goes, energy flows is who? Tony Robbins, yeah? Jim Rohn, I mean, all of the greats. I've got a monster library of stuff, and I regurgitate and I share with other people, and that's just how you, I think, form a different attitude. In fact, in terms of waking up in the morning, the best way to wake up in the morning is to open your eyes and go, thank God I'm breathing. And if you go from thank God I'm breathing, I've woken up, every day is another day in paradise. Not a lot of people know this, but if you're in a genuine feeling of gratitude, I mean sincere gratitude for everything that you got, your partner, your health and everything else, do you know it's absolutely impossible to have any negative emotion. You cannot be anxious, you cannot have fear, you cannot be stressed if you're in a moment of gratitude. So for any of those stress heads out there, right, the second you detect, oh shit, I'm doing that thing again, just go to, do you know what? I ain't got it that bad. And if you start going down that train, you'll be all right. Secondly, because you've got to bookend your day, you start thankful, and at the end of the day, you go, okay, what did I learn today? I definitely ain't doing that again. And I won't do this again. And they're positives, believe it or not. So if you can do that, it keeps all the negativeness out of your life. Where was I? Oh yeah, idea. How about this? Just supposing there was the fountain of all knowledge, how to make money in everything. Loads of businesses in a box, yeah? If you want to know how to trade, you want to know how to do property, you want to know how to start a shop, a restaurant, or this or that, absolutely everything to escape the rat race. Would you pay 100 quid to go on there? Would you? You would? Okay. So if you'd pay 100 quid to go on and get everything you need to start up that business, lots of different businesses, yeah? Okay. Let's say that that was a monthly subscription even, yeah? And let's just say that you got massive value out of it. If you really got massive value out of it, I'm going to venture that you might do one of two things, or maybe both. One, you might actually pay it again next month. If you didn't get massive value, you wouldn't, would you? So our mission is to put massive, massive value on, okay? Because that's the only way it works. Two, would you tell other people? Yeah? You would? Oh, cool. So if you tell other people, what I'd do is I'd give you 10% of that other person's £100. Yeah? Because I'm just going to share the wealth. And in fact, I'm going to share the wealth out to the 5th degree of separation. Yeah? You following? Cool. Because I'm making this up as I'm going along. So that's 1, that'd be 2, that'd be 3, here's 4, and that'd be 5. Yeah? How much have I given away of this person's subscription? 50%. If I've gone out to the 5th degree, if this person joins, I'm going to give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people 10%. Does that make sense? Yeah? So, if you went out and you said to 5 people, that would equate to... Huh? I know it's evening. I thought I was bad in the evening. Jesus. That would be £50, wouldn't it? Yeah? Because 5 times 10... You want to get in business, yeah? Okay. So, if 5 would be 25, 125, what's this? 625, and 3125. Now, here's a ground floor opportunity for you. In fact, I'm going to make this happen, and I'm going to make this happen in January, and we'll launch this in January, because I've already got all of the material, everything to make this happen. Have you done the math yet? Shall I? Oh, work. Right. If you got 5 people and said, wow, do you know what? I've got all the information you could ever need to start a business so that you can run your own business. You wouldn't have to work for anyone ever again. It's all in here. And they said, and they said, and they said, yeah? If you got 5, we've got 5, we've got 5, we've got 5, we've got 5, that works out to a passive income every month of £39,050. Does that work? Now, here's network marketing. All you've got to do is be passionate. All you've got to do is believe that that is worth 100 quid all day long, every day. All you've got to believe is that genuinely, in your heart and soul, that somebody else will benefit from what you've seen in there. Could you do that? It's a bit... Yeah? Half-hearted, really, isn't it? Right? And if you could get just 5 people that would want to start their own business, that would want to share in that information, and 5 done 5, that's 39 grand a month. Passive income, ever after, in perpetuity. And the only reason people would fall out is if we didn't give them massive value. Does that look like a network marketing you might do? Yes? No? Show of hands? There you go. See, whole fillet. Yeah? I might run with that. I just might run with that. Yeah? So, in terms of why do people fail, they don't know what they don't know what winning is to them. They don't know what their outcome is. So, if you're really motivated by stocks and shares, if you really want to share the passion, it doesn't matter whether it's Forever Living and you get those products because you know that your auntie suffers with IBS. Do you know what Forever Living products are? Jesus, you're a tough crowd, aren't you? Forever Living, it's an aloe vera product. You drink it and it sorts all of your bits and pieces out. And you can rub it on burns and stuff like that. Okay, any questions?
Yeah, after the myth book, there were 2 other books.
Yeah, good. See, well spotted. Right, John Strzelecki, The Big Five for Life. Absolutely awesome book. In fact, I'm going to say to you, it's not. I don't often do this. Please go and buy that book and read that book in the next 30 days. John Strzelecki, The Big Five for Life. Because what it does is it's beautifully written. It's written as a story, but the metaphors that pop out of it all the way through are just fantastic. And it basically, I'll just give you a little sum of it, is what's your reason for existing? Why do you exist? This is what the book covers. And it just takes you on a really beautiful journey where you'll find out, do you know what my reason for existing is? And I'll show you what mine is, because I know what mine is. And you must know what yours is. My reason for existing is to experience everything I can. I will not live long enough to experience it all. I do motorcycle rallies, I race cars, I sail on stuff and fall down mountains, and I cannot get enough crammed in that I want to do. And I want to share that with all of my family and as many people. And my legacy, because I didn't do the children thing, my legacy is I just want to help as many people as I can to achieve their version of what winning is, whatever that may be, to them. That's fairly concise, isn't it? You can feel the passion. That's what I want to do. Second, what's your big five for life? And I'll finish on this. And what that is imagine you're going on to a safari. And you're going on, and you've saved all of your monies together, you're bringing your family, and you've gone on this safari. And you're really hoping to see the big five, aren't you? You know, the lion, the rhino, and so on and so on. Now, if you're saved up and you went on that safari, and you've seen 2, would it have been a great safari? I bet it would have been okay. But it's obviously not going to be a fantastic photo, but if you've seen all 5, you'd have had a phenomenal. What's your 5? Write that down. What is your big 5 for life? I'm not talking about a bucket list. I'm talking about the things that you must achieve, that you must do for your family. For you, what do you want to leave behind? You know, that's the significance part of it. So that's the big 5 for life. And I'll leave you with that. Unless you had another question. Sure. The 5th book? How to build a business that creates wealth. So.
My question is, how do you manage, to stay focused? Do you know that you say that, you identify a gap and you create something and then you give it to the technicians and managers to run it and then you go, so, and I am very curious as well, so I would love to jump one together, but how do you stay focused?
How do you stay focused?
And then get that running and really settle
It all comes down to one word. Why? That's why people don't achieve it. You stay focused when you get a big enough why. And this is where having a coach or a mentor really comes in, because I can zone in on you and say, look, why do you want, in fact, let's do this. Why do you want to be a success? Why do you want to build your business to be a success? Why?
Because I want to have enough money to volunteer.
Okay, how long are you going to take to do that?
10 years.
No. Make the most amount of money you can in the shortest period of time. I'll say that again. Please write this, embed this in your head. Make the most amount of money that you can in the shortest possible time, because it gives you choices. The choice to do whatever you want, to do the things with your loved ones. Let me just put this in perspective. In your life, there are only two things that matter. Your family and friends and your career, the thing that nourishes your soul. Hopefully you've got some form of passion there. And these two should overlap. They really should overlap. So why would you want to take 10 years to make money? I can pretty much sit down with any of you and show you how to make 100 grand within the next 12 months. The focus comes from, I'm doing this, I don't do losing, I'm not losing, I will not, you can hear that passion, it comes right in the top of the chest, I'm not losing. And sorry, I must cover this. We had hundreds of thousands of years of the barter system, yeah? And then some bugger came along with the Industrial Revolution, lasted about 100 years. And then we had the service industry, lasted about 60 years. Do you remember people used to have a job for life? Yeah, it's all gone, isn't it? It's done. Right? Then the digital age came in. Oh shit, that got fast. Right? Now we've entered the age of the entrepreneur. We've entered the age of the entrepreneur. The speed of change in a connected society is getting faster and faster and faster and faster. That's why we can't take 10 years, because there are more and more people. Unemployment in this country might be coming down, employment's coming down faster. Do you know how dangerous it is to be employed? It is super dangerous. Before the recession, the Gherkin had 15 floors, I think, of Barclays Bank. After the recession, 2 floors. Gherkin went into receivership, didn't it? Because they were jettisoning people left, right and centre. Now, where did the 13 floors of people from Barclays go? They didn't go to HSBC or Lloyds, because HSBC and Lloyds were getting rid of their 13 floors of people. And the pharma companies and the IT and so on and so on and so on. Seriously, the fastest growing sector on the planet is self-employment. And you guys are ahead of the curve. But you've got to do it now. You cannot be waiting. You must focus. And that hopefully gives you an answer. It's in the why. Because human beings are motivated by one of two things, the carrot or the stick. Yeah? Now, bizarrely, 80% are motivated by the stick and only 20% by the carrot. Yeah? Think about it. 5% own 95% of the wealth of any given country on the planet. Would you go with that? 15% are kind of getting there. 60% are struggling. 20% aren't doing that. That's Pareto's law, by the way. That's the 80-20 rule. 80% of people are wrong all the time. It's just how it is. So that was it.
It feels like you're just getting in your flow.
Well, you know me, so.